Hello, this is Slowrider coming at you live from Slowrider Acres in the Ducati garage. We're going today show you how to change a tire on a rear tire on a 2024 Panigale V2. It's got about, this bike's got 6,500 miles on it. Going to replace the tire, and then this is actually the third tire, unfortunately, because the one before it's had a split. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a tear. The tire just tore right here. So, and that was a brand new Perelli Diablo Corsa. It's still got the new tire. I got about 50 miles out of that tire, and it apparently it split. It was set at the correct PSI, but it's a mystery. Okay, so first thing you got to do, get yourself get another new tire. So again, this is the factory Perelli Diablo Rosso 3 Corsa. So these bikes, unfortunately, even though it's a single-sided swing arm, you can't necessarily just pull the wheel off because it hits on the muffler. So what you got to do is get yourself a 4mm wrench, Allen wrench. There's 4 bolts you got to take out. There's one here you take out. There's one back down here you take out. And there's one here, one here. So I guess that's, there's 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you take that off, this cover is going to come off pretty easily. That's held on by 3 bolts. This is that's 2 bolts, and this is 3 bolts, and this other cover's got to come off. This other heat shield, this black one here, that comes off. And now you can see the catalytic converter, and you can see the butterfly valve is right here. So at this point, what you want to do is you want to remove the lock pin, take that off. And then you use a breaker bar. These bikes are all pretty tight. So I got a 3-foot, 36-inch long breaker bar. So you really, and I did this before I did the video, I loosened the nuts. So you have to have this down off the jack, have it in gear, and you need a second person. Someone needs to sit on the bike and hold the front and rear brake. And then when you, I weigh 220 pounds. So, and this is a 3-foot breaker. You have to get on the end and just push. I mean, it's tighter than you think it would be. And if you have someone, I'd recommend using some breaker lube to spray in here. So it's tight, but it comes off. So you definitely need one of these, otherwise you're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna think, wow, I can't get that off. So once you get that loose, I've already got it loose. Then you hold, you don't want the wheel falling off, so you just hold it, take the nut. And this wheel's pretty straightforward. Shouldn't fall off. I just like to hold it with my hand. You take off the retaining nut there. And then when you pull this out, there's a beveled washer in here, so you don't want that to fall on the ground and scratch. I get ready to, yeah, there you go. Get ready to grab that. And I have a nice soft cloth over here. So now the wheel comes right out. It'll come right out. It's a little bit of a tight fit. There, I had to pull it out, but you definitely have to take that off. It just fits. So this is the new tire. So the way, probably most of you have done this already, but there's 4 alignment holes where these 4 guide pins on your wheel rotor go in. So to install is just the opposite. So we will install it. So to install is just reverse the process. And you'll see it's pretty tight. You gotta get it in there. And the main thing, you don't want to be hitting your brake rotor. You don't want to be bending it. So And this just goes back on like that. Line that up, slide it on, hold it with your hand. Put the alignment washer back on. Take this, screw it back on. It's literally this simple. I have to get that hand tight. Then the next step is you put this back on. This heat shield goes like that. So it's 1, 2, 3 bolts with the 4mm. So you screw that on. Then you screw this. This is the cover here. So this goes back on like that. I mean, it's literally that simple. And then you take, I'm not gonna do it now to make this, so you take these nuts and you screw those 2 pieces on. And then you're pretty much done. So all you gotta do is torque it down. The torque spec is on the tool. It is, for the rear, it's 230 Newton meters. 230 Newton meters. And I believe that's 178 foot-pounds from memory. So you get a torque wrench, I'll go get it. So you get your handy-dandy torque wrench that you have laying around. And I got all these tools from Harbor Freight. So yeah, so this is yeah, it's 178 foot-pounds. So and you don't want to well, don't drop that on your bike because it'll scratch it. But you also don't want to do not use your torque wrench to take the wheel nut off, because you'll bend the torque wrench and damage it. So that's, and plus this torque wrench, you can't get enough torque. You do need this giant bar, and you can see I'm 6'2" and it comes up to my waistline. So that's a over 3 foot long breaker bar there. So you take your tool, put it on. I mean, we're pretty much done, but you get the gist of it. So you just put this on here, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So again, you tighten this down. I'm not gonna do this because I gotta lower the bike. Someone's gotta sit on it with the brakes on, and then you pull this until it clicks, and then you do it in a click again, then you're done. So when you're done torquing it with your torque wrench, then you want to put your, and you'll look, and there's a little hole on the axle here that this pin goes through. So you put this back on, you go through the hole, and that's it, you're done. And the last thing I like to do is I have this torque seal marking adhesive. So let me see, I should have that ready. Yeah, here it is. So it's called torque sealant. It doesn't really seal. Torque sealant, it comes in blue, red, and yellow. And so what you do is you put a dab on the axle and the nut, and then this dries in like 3 or 4 minutes. And what it does is that's the safety seal. So it doesn't hold it. It just this is the fast dry. It's a Scruben Bader torque sealant. And so what that does is it lets you see if it moves. So if you check this later and it's cracked, you know the nut's coming loose, basically. But it can't come loose because it's locked in with this capture pin. It's also torqued properly. And then the third is that you see a crack where if it comes loose, it'll show a crack in the torque sealant. And then also it's spinning, the wheel's spinning to tighten the wheel. So there's a lot of fail safes. So with that, that's how easy it is. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go back and just tighten everything down. And if anyone knows why this brand new tire with 50 miles on it just tore. And the we had 36.5 psi, which is what you're supposed to put on the rear tire in here. And we'll check that. Just so someone sees, I have a digital pressure gauge here. So let's measure that. Oop, turn it on first would be nice. Oop. Okay, so it reads 35.5. So I set this a little lower. So this is at 35.5. And what's nice about this is it also, this thing doubles as a tread depth. So 9.9. So the brand new tire is 9.9 millimeters. And here's my old used tire from my Diablo V4. That is, let's see. Yeah, that's 1.3 millimeters. So the new tire is almost 10 millimeters, and this is about the worn Roso 3 for my Diablo V4 is about 1 millimeter. So that you get out of it. So you get about 8 or 9 millimeters of wear here. If anyone knows why this tire split, I mean, the other tire we got 6,000 miles out of it with the same inflation and riding habits, and this one didn't. So that's it for today's video. So just having fun riding these two bikes. Okay, slow rider out. So that's how easy it is to change your tire. Do it yourself. All right, save yourself a few bucks.